Welcome, gamers, to this edition of the Gamer Summit by GAU Studios. I am Eric RickityBeans Rubino, the editor-in-chief at GAUstudios.com.
I am Andy, Game Diplomacy Lunique.
I love him.
I am Frank Duran, the head of video at GAU and the host of Real Books Don't Have Batman podcast.
And I'm Jake Sanguinary OZ. I'm the PR director over at GAU Studios.
Well, I love all of you, not only myself like Andy here, but we are on Gamer Summit where we discuss the latest and greatest gaming industry news and dissect it and figure out what exactly is going on. But this week, we are talking about the most important thing of the week, PAX East. We are going to talk about everything PAX East. It is the blowout. So let's just get right into it, and let's start with our favorite games, because there were so many games. Let's narrow it down to our sole favorite.
Sole favorite?
No.
That is wrong.
That is rough. But something that's worth mentioning.
Absolutely. I'll do that.
Got?
All right, you start.
Go for it.
Go for
you
it,
want me to
Andy?
start
Yeah,
off?
we'll go round robin.
Just like first impressions or like.
Hey,
overall?
first impressions, whatever.
Right.
One game that I really enjoyed. I think that it was in pre-alpha. It was very not gaming yet, but has great ambitions. I think is Subnautica. It looks like it is going to be a new Minecraft-esque game all under the ocean. It really impressed me in terms of its ambitions and also what it had to show off for only being a pre-alpha.
Yeah, and you can check out our interview with the guys from Subnautica at GAUstudios.com.
Yeah.
Plug. And, I mean, it's an interesting game. I think it's like submarine exploration. You get dropped into a brand new alien world, and you have to kind of swim around and find things. It's different. And it seems very Oculus Rift ready.
Yeah, that was pretty much. They wanted on Oculus, but I mean, it was definitely an amazing game. Besides that, I think that its ambitions are definitely up there. Let's hope as an indie studio they can deliver.
There was a lot of stuff like that was like Oculus ready, but I don't think it wasn't required.
Nothing is
Yeah.
required.
Everyone's just playing with it. They want to see what they can do with it. You know, make sure they have the dev kits. Like, hey, might as well grab them. I mean, we have an Oculus here now, so it makes sense. For me, this is gonna sound crazy, but it's a game that I feel like all four of us could play and have a drunken blast. It made the biggest impression on me. No. Don't get me started on Evolve. But actually, these guys are from Witchbeam Studio. They're out of Australia. Actually, they came all the way here to promote this game. It's called Assault Android Cactus. Alrighty, there's a couple. I know it's insane, but honestly,
I must have missed that
take Contra and Diablo and literally make it all female cosplaying badasses and make them all. It's an insane
like Death Smiles.
Close, but far less creepy.
Okay.
Okay. But the game actually has a lot of fantastic Pixar-like animation, a lot of charm, but it's a lot of fun to play because the weapons go insane. You've got a lot of upgrades. It's a lot of fun, and it's honestly one of the few games that I think that a lot of people could play. I hate to say the casual side of it, but I'm really sure that anybody can play this game. If it blows up, anyone can pick it up.
What are they making it for? Is it like
it is coming out for Xbox 360, Xbox One, Vita, and PC.
It's going to be like a disc release, or is it live?
That is going to be all downloadable.
Okay.
It's available on Steam right now. Already available on Steam, and that'll be available on the Vita at the end of this year.
I gotta say, there was a lot of indie Vita love going on. Everybody was like, Vita is a goal system, and then rather than if we get to it, which is awesome. I am so excited.
Yeah,
about
they needed it because for so long they've had great like first party support.
They have.
But there's been nothing third party.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
And
there's some
3DS
fantastic
killing
games
it.
out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure if you guys got your hands. I don't know if you guys did notice, and I'm going to ask this now. There were actually several Vitas being passed around. Instead of like anyone having a station, they just held the Vita and said, "Here, play our game. Here, play our game."
That's so
That's
smart.
great for a con.
Yeah, incling Borderlands. Actually, Borderlands was never anywhere else.
I saw
I actually got to play the game, and I can't really say anything else now. But you know what I mean. But it's just like it's actually. I'm going to put thumbs up now, and that's all I'm going to say. But I was surprised he just hands it to me. I'm just like, geez, it's actually Borderlands. Right down to the T, menu, characters, everything. I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. So Vita support has been nice.
Yeah. That's awesome. The game, I think I got two, I got to say, because there's a game that I know I'm going to play, and there's one that just made me go, ooh. Because there's...
How'd that go again?
Swim Sanity is the game I know I'm going to buy. Because, it was so much fun to play. This is from the guys at Decoy Games. They're right here in Boston. It's a 4-player kind of brawler, one-screen, classical, underwater fighting game. It was weird, but awesome.
It was Aquaman with guns. It was really cool because it not only had couch co-op, but it also had like that you could face each other. So it's really that couch co-op revival is really alive and well at PAX this year. There's lots of couches and games where you can sit down and play with 4 people, and that was a great example of a game that was just really fun.
Absolutely. I'm going to buy it as soon as it comes out because it's going to be on Mac, it's going to be on Vita, like you said. It's going to be on all the systems you can get your hands on it. The game that I am, like, made me go, wow, is Leechdom Battle Mage. Leechdom Battle Mage is, like, a very gorgeous Skyrim on consoles, not Skyrim on your PC.
It was on PC.
Yeah, it was on PC, but I say, like, because you can make Skyrim on PC, like, photorealistic.
Beautiful.
But like this was beautiful, and what they did, we got shown the game, we got free Steam keys for it, which was very cool, and we got this badass t-shirt. and so that's why I'm a little like, ooh, lots of good things for that. But mostly the game is they take a mage and then they take away everything that usually buffers a mage in a game. Take away mana bars and cooldown times, so you're just a motherfucking badass. You're just like going around.
I saw that and I was jealous. I couldn't. I never had time to play it. I was getting upset.
It looked like basically like Skyrim is the best analogy. It looked like Skyrim just spell combat.
Yeah, that's why I liked it.
It was really interesting because it was something that I've not heard of this game, and I like to think that I like to know of these games that I was going into. And I've never heard of this, and I saw it and I was like, wow, this is really cool. You can craft the spell down to every aspect of it. It's like you can either block with it or use it offensively, and it's either fire, ice, or whatever, and you can just morph them to your own ways. It was really interesting.
I love that. The blocking system, it's kind of like a mine system. You hold out the spell until they hit you, and then it'll bounce back and hurt them, which is awesome.
It's really hard not to hate that game.
The system specs, though, are a bit high, so I wouldn't expect the average gamer to pick it up, but I also wouldn't expect the average gamer to like it.
Yeah, it's very hardcore, like old RPG. Like it knows its roots because like the points pop up over the characters when you hit them. Like it's kind of like it's like a really beautiful World of Warcraft in that way that like you see the points hit over the person and you keep going down until that.
Yeah.
What game did you like best?
There was a lot of stuff. If I had to narrow it down, all right, I'll take your set. I'll do 2 because since PAX is kind of split down the middle.
Yeah.
I would say the thing I was probably the most wowed by that I actually got to get my hands on. Oh man, I don't know. There's a lot. Okay, the easy one I would say is was Wildstar. Like I'd seen Wildstar before, and I've known about it for about a year now, and I've been on their beta, and it was super cool. But like it's a beta, so I was like, okay, I want to see more. So going in, I was like, okay, they'll probably have some stuff there. I wasn't expecting it to be like one of the featured titles. Like they literally were primary.
They went hard. They even put advertisements all over Boston, and they had Jessica Negri, which makes it like the winning booth almost.
Which side's the good side? Is it this side?
Yeah. I think what that really was trying to set out and prove is this is not your mom's World of Warcraft. This is a different game, and they were really showing that off. The fans seemed to love it. They had a big following.
Yeah, I'm not an MMO guy at all. I mean, like I've tried a bunch. Like I couldn't get into Warcraft. It's too toony, and I couldn't really get into. I own Old Republic, which I dug, but I was just like, oh, it seems like such a grind. And then I got Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is great. It's not really grindy. It's super fun, but I'm just like, oh, it just doesn't get its hooks in me. And Wildstar was like sci fantasy. Okay, like there's like mutants and aliens and like you can do whatever you want, and it's cartoonish, but like they owned it. Like it's not toony like Warcraft is, and it's not kind of cel shaded and like comic book like Borderlands is. It's kind of its own thing. It's
they found their own balance. They found their own little place.
It's really neat, and there's so much customization you could do.
Yeah, I got my hands on it for a while too, actually. So it was kind of, I mean, you have to. A game like that you can't play for a short amount of time. That was pretty cool.
I like it. There's like the auto targeting seemed really cool. Like you didn't really seem, and it's definitely friendly. Like if you are not a huge MMO player, you could jump in and get it. And if you're a hardcore MMO player, it's different enough and challenging enough that I don't think that you'd be upset. I think it's a good blend, and I think that everybody could play it. The other one that I saw that I really dug was on the tabletop side. There's a game called Leviathan. It's made by Catalyst Labs, and the concept, like I was like, yes, please, more of that. It's like it's Victorian era steamships. So think like World War I era, like dreadnoughts and battle cruisers and battleships, but they all fly.
Wow. Man,
super steampunky.
I remember when these guys were in alpha. They were there. I didn't even notice.
Dude,
I've seen this game a long time ago.
It was super fun. They already put on there was an expansion for it that they were selling, but I was like, how much is the core set? And they're like $100. I was like, all right, I'll take one. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The tabletop stuff was super cool, but there was a lot of stuff for everybody.
Absolutely. Definitely. I think one thing to mention is, none of us really picked out that huge AAA title. There was definitely a presence of AAA titles there. I'm wondering why that is. Were we disappointed with some things that we saw there in the AAA side?
I'll answer that right now without hesitating. Yeah.
Murdered Soul Suspect, maybe?
Maybe. I got to be honest with you. I did get the chance to, skip a few lines and hit a couple, AAAs, and I walked away like, oh, man.
Some of them are good. I mean,
some of them are good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting there like, oh my god, I was so disappointed being I didn't get a chance to play Evolve because the line was ridiculous.
It was like Disneyland.
But I mean, for me, the games that interested me at the con were I wanted to see The Evil Within really, really badly. I wanted to see Murdered Soul Suspect, for myself and kind of see how that works. And that was actually, it's still a big favorite of mine. It's only personal. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, now you just ignited Eric.
I'm sorry.
You stepped on his trap card.
Hold up. Wait, which one was your favorite? Evil Within or Murdered Soul Suspect?
Murdered Soul Suspect. I'm sorry. I hated Evil Within.
What did you like about it?
About Murdered Soul Suspect? Yeah. Okay, so maybe we got different demos. I don't know. But I mean, for me, it's actually engaging who this character is because I was told they're explaining what his tattoos means, who the character's going to develop into, what the game's going to go into, and how much there is to do outside of the main story to the point where you can actually build your own sense of the other world by playing these other side missions, and I got a chance to do that. I went away from the regular storyline and found some really interesting aspects of the game, and it's not enough for me. Like, I'm only an hour of the demo. I can't get much more until it's over.
And from what I've heard, the game is a pretty sizable length game. I could be wrong, but
if you muscle through the game, it's going to be 12 hours. But even after that, there's several hours of side missions. So I mean, obviously, I knew at the beginning of the storyline, so nothing I saw surprised me. Calm down.
I've been watching this game for a while.
Yeah. But I mean, so far, everyone has their fears, but it's the kind of game that I like, and I would love a break, and I can't wait to play it just for the sake of it's going to be different. That's my call.
All right.
And I'm not going to say to bash Evil Within, but I'm sorry, but yeah. Okay.
I'll mediate that one if you want to.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk.
No, I think the Murdered Soul Suspect was the worst game at PAX, hands down, in every way, shape, and form. It was the least fun I've ever had playing a video game in my life.
All right, why?
Nothing about
I gotta hear why.
One, there was the game aspect was flimsy at best. There was basically none of it. It was R2 to enter a body, and then you hit one of 3 buttons to check off the list of clues that if you don't hit all 3 on the checklist, then you can't beat the level. It took everything that LA Noire did about detective games and crapped all over it. Right. It didn't give me. I had to do this. I had to follow exactly what it was.
Okay.
Then I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost, and I want some consistency in my world. How come I'm walking through with trash can and a person, but this trash can I'm not. Okay. I can't walk through this certain wall. It just. It was clearly on rails, and there was no game to that game.
Cool.
It was boring.
I was given the ammo to defend this, and this is why. You were in tutorial mode the entire time.
No, I was playing the first level.
You were playing the first level, which is teaching out of the game, and they told us, we stopped it here for this demo to make sure people understood how it works out.
Oh, that's why they stopped it there, so that nobody could really see how bad the whole game was. It doesn't branch. You're checking off things off a list.
They said
I can
it branches
do that on
later
paper.
On. Again, I mean, I can't say
what they say and what I played, played the worst game.
They did explain.
We'll have to wait.
We're gonna have to wait and see because
just split it down the middle. I talked to a bunch of my friends played it.
Yeah.
We all knew tons of people there. But a bunch of people played it, and I kind of heard a lot of the same. I heard a lot of people were like, "Well, it felt kind of limited, and I didn't really understand what I was doing." And I'm like, "Well, okay, it's a demo, so you might not necessarily know."
Yeah, they did not explain what was going on very well. I got lucky. Remember, I was told what was going on. You know what I mean?
So the way that it was explained to me is, if you like stuff like Catherine that has a lot of duality, you'll probably dig the game. If you don't, then you probably won't. Because I heard that, like, down the road, once you get into the game, once you do all, like, the side quest stuff and you kind of open up the stuff and you kind of explore the, like, sort of the, I don't know what they're calling it, the spirit world, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, once you get that down, it does add, like, another layer to the game.
Oh, so 6 hours into the game, it becomes fun.
He's so angry.
Because I think a game should be immediately fun. You're showing off the best part of your game at PAX. And if that's the best part of their game, god damn, they give you a lot.
For those of you watching at home, that's called an ADD.
Seriously, I love a good story. I love story in games. I'm telling you right now,
there's no way that people came with the best version of the game at PAX because we know what I mean, if you know, I'm not sure if you do, what it takes to build a demo for a game literally takes a little mini team of people to come over, put a chunk of the game together, and that's taking away from the end result of the game. That's why Watch Dogs isn't getting a freaking demo, which is why we didn't see it at PAX.
I thought that the Watch Dogs thing. I think what Watch Dogs is doing is good because it's giving you a little taste, a little bit of each. It's like, oh yeah, you saw that, but now we're going to show you, because you guys said it was so limited. We're going to show you how it's different here,
and they did the
how
same
it's
thing
different
with
here.
Assassin's Creed. That's good marketing, not a good team. You guys
know the backstory as to why Watch Dogs got pushed, right?
Yes,
yeah.
I do. I know why, but I mean, I'm not going to get into it. What I'm saying is though that if you're going to take away and say this is supposed to be the best part of your game at PAX, that's I mean, like I was trying to say like that's not what that's about.
But I understand what he's saying, which is like if you want me to play your game,
you better make it exciting.
Convince me to play your game.
Convince me to play your game. That's what everybody else did at PAX.
Hey, do you like fighting with swords and driving spaceships? I'm like, yeah, cool. There's none of that in this demo. Why don't you
I see what you mean.
I had high hopes for Murder Soul.
I think Murder Soul Subnautica is a very, very different game, and it's made by a very different team that they hired on, and they're really trying something completely out of the loop. And I think people thought it was something else, and I think they're trying something else.
He was so angry. He yelled at the people waiting in line. He was like, "Don't waste your time!"
Oh my god!
It was so bad. There was no
game
because there's no game.
There's
no game.
Biggest surprise, I would say.
Okay, yeah, let's move from Murder.
More fun waiting in line.
Biggest surprise, I would say is Wolfenstein. Like
you were surprised by Wolfenstein.
I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of been on the fence. I'm like, oh man, the last Wolfenstein was really not good.
Dude, do you want like America shirt on that one too? I mean,
I'm really excited.
I'm sorry.
I'm really excited for Wolfenstein too.
It looked great, and when I heard Machine Games was working on it, I was like, I'm like, this could either be really, really good or sort of mediocre. And after seeing it, I was like, wow, this actually looks like a really fun shooter.
Just be honest, Oz, you just want to play Doom. Just to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I actually don't like Doom.
What?
I'm not a Doom player at all.
Okay, get off.
It's hilarious to me that those two are linked because all Doom was a build of the original Wolfenstein 3.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's just change the name. Like they're the same games over and over again.
I don't see how Wolfenstein or Doom are going to change any part of this industry. Honestly, it's going to be here's more of the things that we released in the last 20 years. That's all I see those games as.
I see
Doom
Wolfenstein.
3's awesome.
Was awesome.
It is.
All right. It's been 10
where's
years.
my Doom? That's the thing. It's like I want Doom now.
It's gonna be out soon.
Next gen. Like that's what I'm waiting for.
I think what they're doing and what they acknowledge that they're doing with the game is they're making a game that's for people who like the original. They're going all out. They're making it really goofy. The Nazis in the '60s, the Frau, whatever. Like it's really deliberate in everything that it's doing.
Say in the trailer,
and that's
those damn Nazis.
It's like good that everything is so deliberate. And I think that's why it's fun because
I like the alternate history aspect too. It's like it's not like, well, it's 1940 again and you're BJ Blazkowicz. Let's kill those Nazis. I was like, okay, I've done that. I played that game. I like it, but like I've played it. So check off that box. So I like that they were like, okay, so BJ goes into a coma or whatever, and then he wakes up, and now it's the '60s.
So Captain America defense.
So it's been 15 years of the Nazis now being in charge, and no one stopped them. So I kind of like that they did that.
Way to drop the ball, U.S.
Apparently.
So I mean, I'm not like, wow, that game is the best game I've ever seen. I was just like, I was expecting it to be bad.
I mean, I gotta admit, I loved Resistance.
Like,
so if Wolfenstein can give me what Resistance did with that really, really cool element of new weapons that kind of mix with that timeline too, I'll be excited.
There's some real cool stuff like the mechanical dogs and the mechanical there's mechs all over it. It's so deliberate. It just makes you smile when you're like, this is so great.
It kind of went Blood Dragon. I felt
they went a little Blood Dragon.
I
think people are looking at it in like Pacific Rim, like, oh, a big robot movie, and it's like, no, it's deeper than that.
Speaking of Pacific Rim, I don't mean to tangent.
Yeah.
And this is still PAX related, but so I watched Pacific Rim like 3 times this week, and it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies. Thank you. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
It's so great.
Well, I took all my friends and we all went to see that movie last year for my birthday. It was amazing.
It's the best Godzilla movie without Godzilla. In
totally. And Guillermo del Toro is a genius. But so we're at PAX, and one of the booths, I forget where, they had Pacific Rim like hats and T-shirts and stuff. Like they had like the Cherno Alpha all in Russian, and then they had like Striker Eureka with the bulldog.
Oh my god!
And I was like, do you guys have any T-shirts? They're like, oh, they're back ordered. And I was like, okay. And then I'm looking around. I'm like, why is there no Pacific Rim video game? Like, I'm like, why am I not a giant robot? Why am I not a giant robot?
If you can't make Gundam, you're not making Pacific Rim. That's how I feel.
There's like 3 Gundam.
No, and they're crap. You can't do it right. Don't make Pacific Rim. That's how I see it.
Whoa!
No,
you're one of your guys' favorite game. You control giant robots.
Yeah.
As pilots. ridiculous.
I would
Like,
totally
Titanfall.
If you can't make the game correctly, I don't want to see it made. That's what I'm saying.
Who made the Robotech game? That was back on like
Robotech Battlecry was.
Yeah, Robotech Battlecry.
Yeah, that was really a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think it was a studio out of Japan, and they stayed in Japan.
That game is spectacular, dude. It's Guillermo del Toro. He could be like, "Hey guys, it's me. Want to do me a favor?"
I'm just saying. I wish there was a game. I wish there could be a game, but it's just like
Mech was great back on original Xbox.
I think they could do it great, but if they do it, they have to do it great. Well, let's move on to PAX nonsense because you can argue about robots video
Pacific
games
Rim 2's coming. So
yeah, I mean, I did want to. I had to chime in on one more game because I forgot. I apologize, but it was a game that blew me away. It's actually by a AAA, but it's considered the indie part of it. It's Ubisoft. Fanboy, sorry. Valiant Hearts: The Great War.
I thought Child of Light was cool.
Child of Light was very cool, but the Valiant Hearts was the one game that it was in the corner and no one paid attention to. It was just like, how come no one's playing this game? I walked over to it. It's a game based in World War I. One single artist literally drew all the artwork over the last 2 years. It's all hand-drawn. It's a gorgeous-looking game. The entire story is told through the interactions of a dog. The dog goes through the entire Great War. I mean, the dog's not talking.
The Call of Duty dog?
No, I wish.
Cameo?
Yeah. But the dog goes through, basically, ends up intersecting with lives of 4 different people throughout the Great War. And basically, it's, it's
so
saving people, things like that.
Was a dog?
Yeah, but the dog is the main character. It's just that you notice the dog.
War dog.
But it is a beautiful game. I mean, you honestly look at the screenshots, look at the artwork, look how it works. It's more puzzle-based. It's not like, a platformer or things like that. Nothing else was really like that there, especially not coming from the AAA side of things. And they had it right. I mean, they had Trials there. You saw Ubisoft had Trials. They had Watch Dogs. They had this game, and they had Ghost Recon. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ghost Recon Shadow.
They had the Crew. Oh, yeah.
Ghost Recon was there. I mean, those games were all kind of highlighted, and everyone was kind of forgetting it because of the bigger games. But Ubisoft had free-to-play. They had indie, they had AAA major, and they had MLG competitive games. You know what I mean? They did a lot there. So I guess what I was trying to say is let's move on to our favorite developer.
They probably picked up the slack from Sony and Nintendo not being. Well, Sony was here, but oh my god, it was a couch and nothing. They were selling T-shirts, and they were
selling a really cool Delson model. Though.
Yeah, that was true.
Damn. And that white controller, I wanted to win that.
I'm sorry, that is the stupidest name ever.
Delson?
I like it.
I feel bad for all the I feel bad for every guy named Delson out there.
How about
sorry to that one guy.
How about most cosplays at PAX East was Delson.
There was so many Delsons.
I don't know why, because it was lazy. You're like, well, what I did was I put on a shirt and I wore a jacket and I wore a beanie.
That went out of fashion in the 90s.
Ozzy's mad no one came in just like a big robot.
There were a bunch of those guys. And they were constantly beating up guys in Delson costumes. That's the way it should have been.
Oh gosh.
There was definitely Sony could have used a bigger presence. Microsoft's presence was a bit they did a lot of stuff. They didn't show off anything new.
No, I mean nobody.
They didn't have anything to show. I mean they know they're going to E3.
Nobody did. Sony didn't.
I know that's what Nintendo didn't even have a presence. Period. Was there might have been 2 Wii U's in the building.
And can I ask that question?
Well, I mean
actually?
true, but I mean technically they were in force because everybody there had a DS.
Oh
God. I mean, seriously, it was like mobile gaming central.
Nintendo is always present.
They have that.
Always there. Always watching.
I gotta get my Street Pass. Dude, everybody.
I did want to talk about that though. I mean, the people who did come in full force versus the people who came off the show. So I mean, the big industry people realized that okay, we're at PAX. We've got some things there. We want to be there for our presence. But like you said, nothing's really new. So does it give you the kind of light at the end of the tunnel that okay, here comes E3. It's gonna be ridiculous, or there's really not that much to show. I mean, not to sound crazy, but I would have expected to see The Order at PAX. You know what I mean? Even a video. A video, something like that game's a big deal.
So, but because that's Sony's baby, without Sony being there, there's no way they were going to.
That's why I just wonder. But that makes me wonder: is there more on the table, or is they just holding off and they're not quite ready for the end of the year? That's what I'm waiting on.
I think after GDC, and they're going to let that whole virtual reality thing soak in. There's games coming out. Dead Nation comes out tomorrow. Charles Fusion comes out tomorrow. Stuff is coming out. I think.
Don't forget today, Final Fantasy 14 for PS4 came out.
Yeah, right.
Free upgrades.
Cricket. There's lots of.
I didn't see any. There was nobody on.
Dude, that game on PS4 or PS3?
PS4.
Oh yeah, PS3. It's freaking lit up.
Yeah,
PS4.
They'll all move over. It just came out,
but
right?
DC Universe is on your PS4 for free. I'm sorry, I'm not playing Final Fantasy. So I love DC Universe. It's so much fun.
I will say that I wasn't really disappointed with any of the stuff I saw. It was nice because usually you go and there's 1 or 2 things where you're like, oh really? Or you're like, oh man, that's a real game. Somebody paid to develop that.
Somebody's getting paid to make that.
Yeah. Murdered Soul Suspect.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have another bet?
That it sells 0 games? Yeah. The one, Andy.
Oh God.
LA Noir that got pooped on.
No.
Andy's like, it's sold. I bought one.
I already bought it.
Give me my dollar.
You could pick up the little tags next to it and get $10 off. They're just giving it away.
Yeah, they're like, please,
giving it.
please.
It's $10 cheaper than
Did you guys
everything
play
else.
the? Did you guys play the Double Fine game?
No.
No,
They had
actually,
like two.
jeez.
They were super cool. Like all the people at that booth were super nice, and I was pumped because one of my favorite games of all time that gets no love is Brutal Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had
I love that
they
game.
had the Brutal Legend. They had the Brutal Legend.
He just had a bro moment, by the way.
Vinyl. They had the vinyl of the. It wasn't the soundtrack music. It was the soundtrack design. So it was all the music that was written for the game, not the metal that was in the game, which I was really bummed about. I was like, how come you don't have it? And they were like, well, there's like this weird licensing thing. I'm like, but you use the music. They're like, yeah, we license it in the game, but apparently there's like a reselling license.
That is some truth to that. Yeah.
No, and I get that, but I was like, you couldn't put out like a compilation. Like, remember when GTA put out the 5 CD set that was like all the radio stations?
So good.
All of that
the
is
Vice
same
City
thing.
one.
It's so good. It's all music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Perhaps they
and I was like,
got
how
the
did
music
they
a different
do that?
way.
But yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
they more than likely
You
acquire
gotta
the music
buy
a different
both the
way.
licenses.
GTA has
it was super
mad
weird.
people.
This was weird for me because I've never been to a Penny Arcade Expo of any kind. I've never been to any PAX at all.
How
and
many,
I've
buddy?
been
This is
to,
my first one.
yeah, really? This was your
I've
first
had
one?
the chance to go to like 3, and this is the first one I actually attended.
This is my third
Because
one.
it's
Okay.
I liked it a lot, but it's very much different than like a Comic-Con. Because like
Yeah.
Comic-Con, you're going up and there's usually just like the guy who made it, and he's standing there and you can talk to him. Here
Unless
it was
it's Rob
like,
Liefeld, in which case you're like, yeah, whatever.
yeah, you're like screw you. But like it's like here it's like we had to find them. We had to find the developers. But like because there's so many people being like, I don't make the game, but here's what you do.
Yeah.
Well, with the indies,
Indies,
it was
yeah, it was
all
exactly
100%
like that.
everybody pawning their own wares in a way. But
Which was really cool. Just to sit down with them and be like, show me your game is like so awesome. Like,
Yeah.
what an
yeah,
experience.
I just mean to assume that Ubisoft wouldn't hire a bunch of good-looking women to show you how to play the crew is obvious. I think at this point, the games industry conventions are so much different than every other industry convention, and that we act like
Well,
gamers go
it's
there
also-
and they have there's a gaming community, there's a love, it's a culture, it's not a product, it's not something that it's a culture. Games is a culture where you go to a tech convention and it's like, here's this, and comic books has the culture, but it's like, here's your comic.
Yeah,
book.
but I mean, at
Yeah.
the same time, part of the reason there's no booth babes is because it's part of PAX's
PAX is,
policy.
well, they don't let you. Yeah,
Really?
you
They
can't.
have a
You
no
can't
booth babes
just.
policy?
That's one of their 6 rules. Like,
Well, they had so many. They did. I mean, it's not the booth babe thing. Is
Remember,
like you can't like show certain cleavage and your skirt can't be short. But they have girls showing you the games.
word, yeah, it's not like you can't have girls. The wording is you can't try to pitch or infer anything like sexually to help push the game or draw attention.
Unless
I think
it's a
that
main
just-
character.
yeah, let's
in the
keep our
game.
industry,
and
you
even
know, a
then,
little more
yeah,
tasteful.
and
That's what I see,
even then,
yeah.
there's a bunch of restrictions. Because I remember even last year, Jess Najiri was wearing her Lollipop Chainsaw costume,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Yeah, you can't wear that." And Ubisoft was like, "She's the main character in the
Yeah,
game. And
she's
she-
the model
and on top
dressing
of that,
as the character.
And on top of that, she wasn't just cosplaying; she literally was running people through demos and talking to the crowd. Like she was really good. So then the next day, they had her change her costume. She was wearing she had like a zip up from the high school, so
Yeah.
she was wearing that instead. But I mean, it's the same idea. That it's more, and I appreciate the guys at PAX trying to just put that out there as a principle. So if you want to show up with your kids, and there were I saw a lot of parents there with kids.
There was a lot of fun
So-
dad, kid,
Yeah,
mom,
yeah.
kid cosplay. That was
Yeah.
fantastic.
So-
Yeah.
Do you want to go
So I
over some of your
appreciate
favorite cosplayers? Because
Well, I want to talk about Oculus Rift before we do that.
Yeah.
the
because
line was ridiculous.
holy.
I mean, I think it'd be kind of hard to go over our favorite cosplayers.
No,
That's,
I'll throw the image over this. I'll just be like, this is your favorite. Buh.
Yeah. Well, Oculus had a massive line, but the funny thing is, every game that had an Oculus Rift,
you
no
could
matter
play it.
what the game, it was just like 100 people
I
surrounding
wanna put it on. I wanna
yeah,
put it on.
I just
I
want
mean,
to put
that
it
was
on,
it.
and then everybody had the same look when they take it off. That was so cool.
Yeah.
Now
That
I'm
was
back
so
in the-
cool.
Now I'm back in the meatverse.
Yeah, I just think it was nuts that much like people that much focus on this virtual reality thing, and they were showing off a game where you sit in a living room anyway. Like, oh, here's virtual reality. You're on a couch playing a video game.
That's how Facebook's going to be. You're going to be sitting on your couch and you're going to look around and be like, oh, where's my friends?
I want
And they're gonna
somebody to
walk
make-
But
in.
that's like
It's gonna turn into idiocracy.
I need
Yeah, it's
I need
gonna
a
be like
cooking
Second
game.
Life.
I need Cooking Mama with the Oculus Rift. Like I really need that in my life. life.
That is your life.
Yeah, why do you want that?
Exactly. That's
real life.
Hardcore trading. I want Gordon Ramsay to scream at me in the side of my head all the
Useless.
time. That actually be really
Gordon
fun.
Ramsay
Yeah.
kicks your nightmares. The game.
You can get
Hell's
someone
Kitchen
to.
game.
There is a Hell's Kitchen game. You can get
There's
someone to play
two.
that
It's
game
on-
at least
it's
once.
I'm
on
so
Wii and
mad
DS.
that that's a joke, yet it's real.
But honestly, though, but it's just like seriously, you can get someone to play the game once. Like that's actually kind of hilarious. He's really right there. You know?
But yeah, you wanna talk cosplay?
What are we doing? Cosplay? Or doing stuff that we weren't super psyched about.
Whatever you guys want to do. I don't care. We still got time.
Actually, I'd like to, before we jump on, I mean, outside of games, there's a lot more to PAX. I mean, obviously, we have cosplayers, we've got games, we've got, the organization. There's a lot of side parties going on, a lot of after parties, which I won't get into, going on. But I think the one part I actually loved about PAX the most was the panels. There were some spectacular panels that I got to attend, and I got to meet some people who I've spoken to in the past that changed my life in gaming. They really helped me out, and I got to thank them for it. James Portnow is one of those people. He does extra credits. Fantastic guy. Great panel. Did you guys attend any other panels while you were there?
No.
No way. I was being a journalist.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I was
interview
games
people.
journalisming.
I mean,
When I wasn't laying out the PR vibe, which I was laying out pretty heavy. I was an
Yeah.
exhibitor, so I was slinging.
I gotta say, if you ever go to a PAX, make it a mission to look at the entire panel list and go to one.
I looked at all
the
the
interactions.
Don't get me
you
wrong.
have.
There were a bunch I wanted to go
Yeah.
to. but
Yeah.
I was like,
So
well,
let me
since
make
I don't have
another
a
note.
clone that I can send.
Yeah, there was a ton of interesting panels, and I had them all queued up on my schedule on my phone. But by the time that it was like, oh, I have 15 minutes to go wait in line for that panel, the line was already like hundreds of
100 deep.
people long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, back to interviewing people.
Yeah.
Did anybody
exactly.
find it weird that so I'm curious to see what the actual attendance was this year, because I know that every year it gets bigger. Like 3 years ago when they moved to the BCC, they sold out in I think they sold out in like 18 days, and then last year they sold out in like 45 hours. This year they sold out in like 18 minutes.
Jeez.
But they're talking about how like there's just no space and all this, and I'm like, there's that huge gap in the middle where there's nothing. It's like
There's a lot of nothing.
Yeah,
you
there's a
walked
lot of
in,
nothing.
like you walked in, and they could have had exhibitors in the lobby, and they had some small ones.
Yeah.
But then you walk in, and they had the big like I don't know walkways over the top, and then you walked in, and there was like the AAA stuff, and then there was like the indie belt.
Yeah.
The
By the
indie
way,
belt is a good
indie
way to
belt.
put it.
By the way, meeting Adrian and you guys was super helpful. I'm like, where are you guys? We're at the indie booth, and I'm like, there is no.
That was not me, that was Adrian.
That's like a huge.
I'm like,
section.
I'm under the 2K sign,
Right.
exactly.
You always describe where you were. I am here. Look for the tall person.
it's
Got you.
It's hard, it's hard
You know what I
to miss
mean?
me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're like, where are you? I'm at PAX, dude.
Oh, thanks.
I'm in the mall. Find me.
I'm standing next to a cosplayer.
Yeah,
Like,
so then there's like that huge, after the indie section, they had like some of the merch booths, and then there was like a huge section of nothing. And
Even
then
the
they
food
had-
vendors had too much space.
Yeah, and then there was like another big weird section on the side, and then there was like some of the tabletop stuff, and then merch, and then like the tabletop gaming section.
Yeah, way back there. There
it
was
was
so much
great.
space between that, though.
I had so many people that came back, and I was like, oh, hey, we had this one girl that kept coming back to the booth, and she was like, oh, yeah, I'm a little bit claustrophobic, so when I go in there, it's crazy, and when I come back by here, there's this big opening, and there was, between us and, like, the Magic signups, there was
It
a
was
big
nuts.
gap. It was
the
great.
walk from there for the walk from the end of
Yeah.
like the games to where you were was just empty. Why don't they fill that space out? Give the indie
that's what-
developers
yeah, I
a
love
little
that they
bit
were
more
doing it
elbow
for-
room, because I
for
feel like the
sure,
indie
yeah.
devs,
Yeah.
you have 100 people all crowded around 2 monitors. Like,
Yeah, that was kind of where I was going with it, and on top of that, it would like ease up the congestion.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know the big complaint last year was like you can go on the PAX forums and people post stuff, and again, this isn't indicative of PAX. I think that the planners and the event coordinators do a great job.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
I think that just as a fan and being that there was so much stuff we wanted to see, it would have been nice to have a little bit more space. I mean, you could gather around and kind
absolutely.
of check stuff
Not
out.
walk
Yeah.
in and you're immediately in the riot that was happening outside the riot booth.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
seriously,
Riot-
the League of Legends was crazy.
They have got to rethink League of Legends again, because that happened last year too. If you were there, it was you can't move past it was the Newegg booth, League of Legends, and then the rest. Good luck getting through that to get to anything else. At one point towards the
And
end of the convention,
the lines kept getting capped too because there was no space. Like
the lines getting capped makes no sense to me. The whole point is the line. It cap. How do you cap the
They
line?
cap the line to make sure the last person in line gets to play the game. So if you cap the line, saying, okay, now you got the time limit up. Here we go, everybody. You're in line now. You're gonna get to play. Because if you keep getting the line go and they shut it down, you stood in line for 2 hours for nothing.
no, and that,
Oh, but
So,
they weren't
you know.
capping lines at 4 o'clock. They were capping the Oculus line at 11 in the morning on Sunday.
Which Oculus line?
The only Oculus line.
There's 2 different kits there. There's
Oh,
two
well,
different-
it was the ones that Oculus was actually
Yeah,
showing.
the one with
giant
the
hamster
giant
ball?
Yeah.
not the Not the
side
demo
of it.
one.
Oh, I don't know if it was a giant hamster ball. That's why.
No. That was some other thing.
Yeah, gotcha. No,
That was the giant hamster ball, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, that had like nobody wait because you had to sign up to get chosen to go into that.
Yeah, they had people constantly
The
going,
Oculus
but-
line was capped. I'm like standing there, and the guy's like turns around, and the sign says Oculus line capped, and I'm like, what? It's 11 in the morning.
They kept.
They kept Borderlands early.
Was it Enemy Starfighter, which was an indie, which is super cool, and that plays on the Oculus, but it's going to be on everything else.
Yeah.
And they capped the line, and I'm looking at it, and the line was like, I don't know, 12 people, and I'm like, why? Are
I
they
feel like
capping
there's
the
something
line?
about that we don't understand. I mean,
I
how
think-
the organization works.
I think part of it was last year. One of the big complaints was that people were mad that they waited in really, really long lines. So I was like, okay, maybe if you did like a section and then redid it, and then a section and then you redid it, you'd be like, oh, that line's capped. I'll come back later. I guess that makes more sense. But at the same time, I guess I understand their thought behind it, because last year people were super mad where it was like, oh yeah, I waited in line for 3 hours to watch a 15-minute video.
Because Borderlands, the pre-sequel, didn't do that. I mean, were doing that exactly.
Exactly.
People were standing in line for 2 hours
They
just
gave
to
a
watch a
lot of
video
free
of a
swag
game they were
at
gonna
pre-swag.
buy anyway.
Well, they did. But
They
they're
did
gonna-
give a lot of
Right.
swag.
But
at the
Gearbox
pre-sequel.
is smart like that in their swag, and the reason they have this money is because they have an extra $2 million kick around until Sega wins their lawsuit.
Yeah,
and then
but-
they'll
yeah.
pay all that
I
back.
think the best way to go about, I mean, the booths that I saw that had the least amount of congestion were the walk up and play. Like, you didn't have to wait in line. It was like, hey, play whenever you want, do whatever you want to. We'll try to talk to you when we get there. But it had the least amount. It was people in and out. Sometimes you stay longer, sometimes it's shorter. But I mean, like Sniper Elite 3, which I played for about 20 minutes actually, because I was playing with a group of
we
people.
played that for like 60 minutes.
And I enjoyed it, but it was just like, here, walk up. There was no line. But like, if you looked at the Microsoft booth, Project Spark, a game that you really
that game is super fun, by the way.
It's
I have it on my
cool,
Xbox
but the
One.
line was ridiculous for that too, and I was like, I can't really
Which I
get
don't
in there
know why.
right now.
You can download it for free and play it on your One.
And then why not just have that wake up? Not wake up, but just
sick.
a walk up. You know what I mean? Like, it's a
Yeah.
game that you should be able to enjoy. Go play it now,
Yeah.
Or why not give cards to download it right now? You probably have an iPad on you.
Titanfall had a line too.
Why
Again,
the heck did
I'm like, why
does
did it have
Titanfall
such
a
a
line?
large presence, and why does it have a line? I thought like
It's because people are still on the fence about either
buying an
Buying
Xbox
an
One.
either upgrading to
Buying
an
an
Xbox One.
They don't
Which,
have
by
their
the way, for
Titanfall
those of you at
machine
home,
yet.
buy an Xbox One.
If you want to play Titanfall.
If you want to
If
play
you want a
Titanfall.
Titanfall.
If you want to play Infamous, don't buy an Xbox
Otherwise,
One.
if you don't want to play Titanfall, wait for Halo, then buy an Xbox One.
that
Sorry.
makes more sense.
Yes.
No. Buy an Xbox One and play Titanfall now, and then you can switch over to Destiny, and then you can switch
Oh
over to
yeah,
Halo.
so you can play one character in Killer Instinct.
So you can only play first-person shooters on your first-person
Don't do
shooter
that now.
machine.
Don't do this now. Don't do this now.
We can't do this. We're talking about PAX.
Actually,
What was really cool is we got to play the Steam box. Me and him and
Oh,
we
the
went all
Steam
out.
controller.
Let's talk about the
Tell me
Steam
about this.
controller.
Okay.
Tell me about this, 'cause-
Steam controller and Steam box. We're gonna go both sides of it because
Why
I
not?
The Steam
equally-
box, I have no
we had-
issue with. No problem with the computer to plug
It
into
was
my TV.
This big. It was beautiful.
Well, that was a version of a Steam box, and that was a low quality version with an iCore
yeah,
3.
they're putting out
Thought it was
anywhere
cool,
between $400 and $600.
Yeah, this one was a teeny
I'm
one.
not kidding. That's their
Yeah,
price.
that's
That's like
it's
buying an
insane.
Alienware.
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah. I mean, the one we saw was a really small one, but the key is we got to use the new controller with the buttons.
Yeah.
All right,
that was
let's hear it. Tell me about the controller.
All right. Andy,
So they-
want me to
okay.
start? Because I'm a little more positive.
You start because I mean
Yeah.
I'm not
He's more
hating it.
glass half full type of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be more positive towards this. I hate
Be more
murdered soul suspect. But I like the Steam. So the Steam control, the buttons,
That horse isn't
the
even a dead horse
layout.
anymore. It's like a powdered
Yeah.
skeleton. At this
No.
point.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, die.
He set it on fire. Anyway, go ahead.
The Steam controller is set up, the buttons, the way it feels in your hand, on point. The joysticks, or the lack thereof joysticks, is where I was a little on the fence. I was playing Eugenics with it, which was a more clicking game, like a PC, like I could play this with a mouse, and
It was a
worked.
slow game.
It
They
worked.
shouldn't have
It worked
chose that
fine.
game.
It worked
I'm assuming that's
fine.
probably in the vein of like XCOM in terms of like using the thing as a mouse and then clicking.
In a way, it was more like Pokemon. I was
Yeah,
attacking,
you just
like,
chose
but
the
it
thing.
was.
It wasn't a very good choice
but-
to show off the Steam controller, but
It wasn't showing off the Steam. It was showing off the game, but the Steam controller happened to be there. But the thing is that it wasn't precise. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I aim right at this, and like I missed a little, and I'm like, okay, that's not cool. I mean, but the feedback you get in your thumbs while you're moving, awesome, great to replace a mouse and keyboard in a game, but I'm still gonna plug a controller when I want to play controller games and not use that.
Exactly. The controller did feel. I'll give you that one. Did feel good in your hands.
The back buttons are cool.
But those felt good. But I really feel like, okay, let's just say if I wanted to play a lot of other games, like if I wanted to play Madden or whatever, or if I wanted to play a lot of like less precise games that we were
Madden,
talking
come
about.
on.
Hear me out.
No, I agree with it.
Hear me out. If I wanted to play any game I wanted to on that one, when I'm holding the controller, I do have a tendency to shake just a little bit, or my thumb just move back and forth. It did detect that a lot often. If any kind of slight click happens, you're going to end up pressing a lot of extra buttons. So you find yourself almost lightly
Daintily
hovering.
holding.
Can you adjust the sensitivity on
They
it?
didn't give us the option just yet. I don't really know.
So
maybe. But when I'm doing that, I find myself, if I was playing a shooter, just example, I find myself doing this really often.
It also
I'm just
clicks
like,
in.
Running in a circle, looking at the ceiling.
if you played a shooter with that controller, and I have, you're gonna feel like a small child holding a controller for the first time.
I don't know.
I
really loved it. Like,
you felt at home?
Yeah,
So maybe his was-
I
maybe
felt
his
like
was
I was
turned
coming
down.
home. You know, like when I held it, it felt great. Like I felt like I could play any PC game and it would have felt comfortable.
Any PC game minus a shooter or anything.
You could just move around like it was a mouse. You didn't, and there was the feedback, so you knew where you were on the page. Like that's important because usually with a mouse thing, you're just like, I'm anywhere on the screen. But with this, it's like you know you're exactly.
I don't know how.
It's ridiculous.
That's why I come to these. I'm like, oh, please, Frank, do the voice.
But I just love the way it felt, and it would be great for people who don't. I don't have a PC.
Was it intuitive?
I have a yes. I felt like it felt good in your hands. You didn't have to use the face buttons. That's what I felt was so intuitive about it. It's like you cannot press the A, B, X, Y buttons. You can actually just use the clicking, which I thought was very interesting. It won't work for every game, just the clicking, but
I was gonna say, let's say if you want to play MMO or MOBA with that controller.
I don't know.
How?
I don't
How
know.
the hell?
Like that, I'm sitting there going like, okay. I mean,
It's definitely tickles some mapping.
I played like 4 different MOBAs at PAX, by the
Can
way.
you map again?
Remapping.
You
is an
can
option,
obviously
yes.
remap.
You
It's
can remap
PC
every single
games,
button
but
any way you
the
want to.
thing is that like you said, certain games it's just not going to work with. The only games I see it working with would be like the new Civ game, but
yes! Oh!
but
Sorry, that was
like
exciting.
Other
That was a big
civ-
exciting
like
Universalis?
clicking
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Huh?
Yeah,
Universalis, that looked great too.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
but yeah, like games like that
I'm a
will
huge
work
Civ
fine.
guy, so-
If you can click stuff around, it's fine. But any game where you need any sort of precision, just use an Xbox controller or plug in your PS3.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys in regards to the whole Steambox and everything.
Okay.
So with Steambox and Ouya and GameStick and all of these
Ouya.
PC derivative Android.
Do not compare an Ouya to a Steambox.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, Steambox is basically just a PC, but an Ouya and the GameStick are
Amazon
essentially-
Fire too.
Yeah. They're basically just they're going to be Android games you can play on your TV or PC games you can play on your TV with the Steambox. But I feel like it's this weird sort of like invented demographic that doesn't exist. Because I'm like, if you're a hardcore PC gamer,
You play on
you're
your
like,
PC.
yeah, you're like, well, I could buy a Steambox, but I've already built this $12,000 Skynet.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
if I don't beat this level, it's going to take over like the National Defense. Or you're a console gamer, in which case you're like, well, I have this controller, so why would I buy that system? But
you do find yourself in a good
but they've like invented this weird false demographic. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure some people will buy it, but it's going to be all like the crazy Steam heads that are like, oh man,
It's people who are on Valve's balls. Let's be real
Just like I
here.
said, I don't know how you're going to advertise that
Guys,
Steambox.
Half-Life 3 is confirmed because of the Steambox. Why are you guys complaining?
Yeah,
Like,
but
you guys
because
are-
also Valve
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Valve isn't
Half-Life
dumb
3
enough
will
to
be
not put.
ported.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
exactly.
it's not like they were like, how these going to, by the way, it's only been the Steambox.
It's only Linux. It's only on Linux. Yeah, right.
Even then,
No, it's
you're
not gonna
right
be
though.
exclusive.
Who are you
That's
going to
the
sell
point
the
of Steam,
system
though.
to? I mean, I'm not to sound crazy. You think GameStop's going to sell that system?
Nah.
No, I bet they will. I mean,
Well, they might have what you think they'll have like 3 versions, like the big, medium, small.
I bet what they'll do is we'll have a deal with them where stuff gets built, or they'll do a couple sizes. You know?
I think Intel and
You
I
wanna
think
supersize your
Microsoft.
Steambox?
I think a lot of other people who are sending computers like, hey, gaming PC, we're going to undercut you by $100 over and over again.
Yeah,
I think they'll fight the Steam boxes.
But if you're a diehard,
But you can
PC
build your own
gamer-
Steam box.
No. I'm saying if they want to,
you can upgrade
what
it
I'm
too.
saying is if Valve wants to attack the casual, like people who don't have a PC gaming system just yet, it's like, well, I could buy this Steam box, which I'm not really sure on just yet, or I can buy the brand that I've known for the last 20 years of my lifetime to play the same PC games.
Well, yeah, I think
That's a marketing thing I'm talking about.
I think consoles. I think consoles are always
if you're going to
be
college,
bad
if you're a college student that's going to be like, hey, I need a PC, I want to be able to game and do my
If you're a college
homework.
student, you're not going to buy a Steam box instead of a PC.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously.
You're like, well, I
but
could play
that's
games
just
or
it,
do my
though.
homework.
But
I
that's
guess
it,
I'm
though.
gonna
I
do
mean,
games.
Microsoft most brilliant
Unless
ad
Steambox
campaign
has
ever.
like some sort of Word document on it.
No,
Like,
Microsoft did it several years ago, and they still actually had a tendency to do it. It's either tablet or an Xbox. You buy a PC for college, you get a free Xbox 360.
Oh,
that
for
was
sure.
freaking brilliant.
For sure, yeah.
So
but
I mean,
that was a marketing thing. I mean, like,
but that's just it. Though, look who you're really up against now.
You're up against two huge heavy hitters at this point in the industry. Sony and Microsoft aren't exactly tiny companies.
That demographic you were talking about,
they aren't no Valve
them.
with a flat.
I don't know. I think it's there because I mean, there's Mac gamers like me who gets fucked.
But you're not a Mac. You're not a Mac gamer. You're a gamer who happens to have a Mac, and
that's why I would love a Steam box because like I can play my Steam games, but I can only play half of my Steam games. I would love to be able to play all my Steam games all on one system that I can just walk into a room, plug it in, like because it's going to be this
anytime
big.
you like want to use my PC, it's
Just show up, be like, I can. I
mean, Frank,
I'm Sanguinary OZ now.
I think
Frank, if I told you Boot Camp could give you a better, cheaper option to start playing games off your PC, and you're able to basically firewire your laptop into your TV, would you take the cheaper option?
I don't know because I really enjoyed the controller. Like that's the thing is like I understand
the controller's gonna sell you on that when you have the beautiful Microsoft, the Xbox 3, the Xbox One one. The Xbox One controller's so beautiful too, especially the PS4. They're designed to be held. This one is like designed by people who make.
Did you guys see any of the indie hardware that was there?
No.
I saw this weird. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe they were just had like, maybe they had a modified PC controller, but they had like there was like a modified.
Oh yeah.
It looked like a tiny. It looked like a tiny little. It looked like a tiny little Xbox controller almost. And the guy was using it on his phone, and I was like, "That's pretty sweet." It was like I think again, I don't know if it was part of like the setup or it was just like this.
It wasn't like a Moga, right?
Yeah,
no, it wasn't a Moga.
Okay.
It looked almost like a Moga, but it looked more like a 360 controller that had like the raised offset thumbsticks.
Yeah.
Again, it could have been something that this guy just had.
Yeah, it could be like one of those third-party crazy doohickeys.
Did you see the Astro guys? Like the Astro guys had that thing with like whoever had the most push-ups. And I'm not gonna lie, like
one guy did 138 push-ups.
When I first got,
who's this guy?
When I first got, there was a guy struggling to bust out 50, and I was like, I play hockey every week. I know I can bust out 50 push-ups. Steal that guy's Astro.
All right, to wrap it up, what is your favorite cosplayers, guys? Because that was a huge thing. I will put the image over this video right now when you say who your favorite guy was.
There were so many good ones, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of bad ones too.
There's a lot of bad ones.
There were a lot of bad.
Actually, I need to give major kudos to the strongest female shepherd that was there. She was in full light up, broken down, scratched, red hair, ass-kicking armor. She was she literally looked like, I was like, I swear you just walked out of the game.
I saw
right down to her
town.
Like, I think she even looked a lot like her too, and she walked around like, hey, watch my arm. I was just like, oh, hey.
I saw FemShep on the town. It was this girl with a red wig on. She was wearing literally like a black one-piece dress that had the N7 stripe.
That's a cool dress. But yeah,
cool.
I mean, I give my credit to her because that looked like it was just so. You know how costume gets really right on point.
Yeah.
Second place goes to Raziel. Alrighty, Raziel was walking around as a female version. As a major Soul Reaver fan, that was just a personal hit. Raziel, whoever you are, awesome.
I'm gonna go with the guys who were dressed up in the all-out Ghostbusters garb with all the packs and the working electricity and the ghost catcher. That was just, they were outstanding. That was the best piece together costumes I've ever seen.
For anybody who wants, you can literally download. There's a program you can download to make the Ghostbuster packs, and they show you how to make it all with stuff around your house. It's like vacuums and like plastic pieces and like casserole dishes to make the big round part. Like it's hilarious.
These guys were awesome.
Yeah, their costumes were sick. They were all the way down. They were
wow.
I love the Sub-Zero who was blowing out smoke. It's really fantastic. Like when I went to go take up the picture of him, he was like, wait a minute, and then you would hear him breathe in. And then the smoke would come flying out, and it was awesome. It was just about the combination of he had the fantastic suit and the the eye contacts, just make him look so frightening.
The little details make you just that much cooler.
Yeah, that's it.
Because actually, Noob Sabot was actually there as well.
Yes.
He was just complete. He literally is faded to black. I'm just like, dude, you actually look freaky as hell. Then he had smoke behind him at sometimes actually, which was just like that. You guys worked together to think this through. It was really awesome. I think it was really cool.
It was really cool.
Man. Again, there were a lot. I don't want to leave anybody out. There were a lot of good ones. The Space Marine guy was pretty awesome, but
the Space Marine guy, he was fantastic.
There was a guy wearing a Master Chief suit, and I saw a couple.
Yeah, I got arrested by him.
I saw a couple people. Wearing like Spartan armor, and some of them were good. Like I saw a female Spartan, but the guy who was dressed like actual John 117, his armor was perfect.
Yeah,
like he had the boots
even
down.
his blaster looked like
he had the
was
plasma
straight out of the
pistol.
game.
Like
Wow.
His was great, and everything was literally perfect down, like all the way down. The Space Marine guy was great. Like he had the skulls were all lit up with like LEDs, so all the eyes on the skulls all lit up.
Sweet.
Yeah, he was really good too.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
All right, that wraps up the PAX Blowout. I think we pretty much exhausted every topic.
No, there was so much more we could
Well,
talk
since
about.
no one went to panels, yeah.
No one.
Apparently, I'm the only one that was wandering around the tabletop area. Like I could talk about the tabletop area for like hours.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on that one.
There were so many cool. Real quick before we wrap, there was just for the tabletop guys out there. There were so many cool new like Kickstarters that were there, which was really neat. They had one that was all like the art style was really cool. They had one called Zombie. It was like Zombie Apocalypse or Zombie like something like that, and like all the little models. The sculpts were beautiful.
Oh, I saw that
They were
game
so
actually. That was
nice.
I liked the little mini. That was the only reason I was looking at the tabletop games. I was like, these are really cool.
They were great. There was a lot of cool stuff in the tabletop area. That area definitely didn't get
I didn't get a chance to cover the music and the bands and people who were playing jam bands at PAX.
There was some really good
if you went to the music room for any amount of time, you heard some of the most impressive talent for people who love to remix video game music, and they deserve their props.
I saw
you'll
Link
be
Shout out
busting
to
some
Bright
PDR.
Primate.
Yeah, really?
As I was leaving, I saw Link busting out some.
Yeah,
PDR.
I mean, Extra Credits is
pretty
doing a
fun.
show called Extra Remix based on game music. Go check it out. It's pretty awesome.
All right.
Alrighty, that is the
That was a
Gamers
lot.
Summit. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Jake, for coming on to the panel and discussing PAX East 2014. It was a hell of a time. Now we all need to go get some rest because we are very exhausted. Make sure that you check out GAUstudios.com for the latest news, previews, and reviews on your favorite video games. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. We also have a Tumblr that Frank created.
we have everything.
If you're looking for us on the internet, you'll find us.
If you have
We have
some sort of
cupcakes
social
now?
media, if you have some sort of social media, you can find us.
You can
GAU
find us.
Studios.
All right, that's all we got for tonight. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you, James, for running the board. Game on.